So I just got off the phone with a friend, trying to make sure that I have support insofar as this meeting that we're about to have for Donnie next week because I'm just trying to figure out what to do next. Do I keep him at his current school where I just don't think it was a good fit? You know, you do the best that you think that you can do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I know it's really easy for me to beat myself up about it. And even like right now, I'm trying really, really hard, not to go do one of my favorite things. And I'm just like, oh, come on, because I know that I want to go lay down. I want to take a nap. I don't want to think about life right now. And I can admit that yesterday I was borderline suicidal. But the fact of the matter is, I have too many things that I think are a part of God's plan. If they're not a part of God's plan, at least the things that I've laid out for me to do, at least the things such as me being a mom, me being there for my kids. Because again, my ex husband just said he may be moving to Charlotte. Well, then that means that every other weekend, when I used to be able to get a break 4 days out of the month, I'm not going to have that at all. So, how do I manage that? Especially with the fact that I'm about to take a class that only meets on Saturdays. And part of the reason that worked out really well for me was because, oh, okay, then, there's the Saturdays that he would have the kids, and then I'd have sitters for the other times. That's not even working out. So I looked at my calendar and I realized that out of the 4 days that I needed sitters this month, I only had a sitter one of those days. So I have 3 sitters in rotation, but for one reason or another, they're all just kind of falling through. And the reason why I was bringing up the fact that I just got off the phone with a friend is because he said you have a book, like you should be documenting all of this, like you could have a book. And I said, I think that the vlog, um, is my way of journaling. Instead of me writing down what I'm feeling, let me journal. Let me make a video about it. I will admit I don't go into as great of detail as I would if I was writing, just because there's certain things that I'm just not ready to disclose yet. I'm pretty open, but there's just certain things that just can't be out in the world just yet. So, so this is what I'm thinking about right now. This is what's on my plate for today. I have a therapy appointment at 11:30. I have to work online from 11 to 1. I'm meeting with a possible new sitter for the kids. I think at 4. Oh, and see, that's right. I made that appointment when I wasn't going to have to pick up the kids. Well, since my ex-husband's car was repoed, now I am doing drop off and pick up. And I get that there are plenty of single moms that do this every day. And again, that's the reason for this vlog, is that I know that there are other people out here going through the same thing. There has to be. It just have to be. So one of my questions is, again, how are you making this work? How are you not like suicidal? Or is it the fact that, no, I feel suicidal plenty, or I feel like, taking a drink at 9 in the morning, whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, I got to look at that. I forgot that now I'm going to have to go pick up the kids. So that may change either the time that I meet her, or it may change the time that I go pick up the kids, because they may just have to be in tow. And Lord knows I don't want to. Lord knows I don't want to, but right now I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to survive. Then on top of that, I got to do a prior approval thing for my job for this presentation that I'm doing in less than a month now. And because crazy things just keep happening at work or at home, I'm just not 100% on my schedule. And it's just throwing me off. And when I think about it, I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to think about it anymore. And I understand the philosophy behind, oh, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I hear you. But I got to get to that place of being able to cut things up into that smaller piece. And what I think has been frustrating for me over the past week, at least, is that when I sit down to cut up my elephant, then another elephant sits down. Or at the very least, like I go to cut, and let's say I may have the wrong knife. So I'm trying to cut this elephant with a butter knife. Maybe I need, one of my red knives. Okay, well, I try the red knife. That doesn't work. Okay, well, I need one of my other plastic knives. Okay, I try the plastic knife. It's making, good work, but I still got to work to cut through this elephant meat. So it's just, sometimes it feels incessant, like it doesn't stop, and it really doesn't. So that's all I've got for right now. Actually, no, there's more. So Donnie's school is thinking about retaining him because of his behavior. And I happened to meet someone. I will not shout out the HBCU that he went to. I will not. But we met at the gas station this weekend because I was representing Tennessee State with my HBCU stuff because again, these are the crazy things that happen. I was on my way to see Nikki Giovanni, and the venue got to capacity a good 2 hours before the thing even started. So didn't get to go to see Nikki. However, I got some good information from a guidance counselor. And he said, no, I wouldn't hold him back. And especially because I've heard of kids being retained in kindergarten because they really didn't have the intellectual or the cognitive skills to move on to first grade. But we know that's not an issue with Donovan. And so I think that if we retain him, then not only will you continue with the behaviors that he's had, now you're going to have the problem of he's bored. Because I had another friend look at his current progress report and she was like, he's fine. Academically, he's fine. But the guidance counselor did recommend having him work in about 15-minute intervals and now, I tried this out this weekend. We had a couple of struggle fights through there because he gets frustrated really easily and he doesn't really know to pause. Excuse me, I think that's a part of his impulsivity. And so I have increased his Adderall dose from 5 milligrams to 10. I didn't tell his teachers because I want to see if they notice a change without me saying something. Because personally this weekend, I do think that he did a better job of being able to sit still and attend to a task. So for instance, he was able to sit and read several books. Now, how well is his reading? I'm not 100%. But again, I learned that he can read more than what I thought. Because another friend's daughter, sat down and was just reading up a storm. And I said, oh, that's not what my baby does. But I also know, again, he gets easily frustrated and he doesn't want to be wrong. I can tell that because you can hear. The thing of it is, I know that he knows how to sound out the words. I just don't know how to get him to overcome his frustrations. And again, I'm hoping that the increase in medication will help with his impulsivity so that he can take pause to say, you know what? I may want to punch someone in the face right now, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go sit over here and take a break. That's what I'm going to do. Or get him to take time to see that this is a small problem. How can I fix this small problem without making a really big deal out of it? So we have our conference scheduled for Wednesday. And, I can admit that I've realized that, the Montessori setting wasn't a good fit for him. And I didn't want to change his class. I didn't want to change his school because that's what he knew. But at the same token, I'm like, it's not working. So do I continue to keep doing the same thing and expecting something different? Because that's the same thing that, I'm going to start saying to Donovan, because I've seen that in his father and I see that in him, that you're doing the same things over and over and you're expecting something different. And that is insanity. So I'm going to go ahead and start teaching that to Donnie. Like, Donnie, if you're doing the same thing and you're getting mad, but you haven't changed anything, that's a problem. You got to take pause, look at what you're doing, and try something different. It doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be a big change. It just needs to be a small change. I need you to change what you are doing so that you can change the outcome. Now, the outcome still may not be what you're looking for, but nonetheless, it is something different. And hopefully we're making forward progress. We're getting closer to what you need. So I'm saying all of that because I'm thinking that after talking with my friend, I said, should I just go ahead and have him, should I go ahead and withdraw him and have him go to his own school sooner than later? And his thing to me was, the meeting on Wednesday actually can help inform that decision, because I know that emotionally I'm tired. I'm not even tired. I'm tired. Tied. Tired. And I just I want him to be successful. I want him to feel successful. And I know how much I fuss at him. And I do try to balance it out with love, and I love you, and that's the reason why I'm saying these. I'm trying to get you to understand, da 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 da, because I love you. I love you, and I know that you're so capable. You're capable of so much more than what you're doing right now. I just need you to show it. So all I can say is pray for me. Like I told Chris, I said, I feel like I've prayed more in the past couple of months than I prayed when my brother died and when my mother died. And that's a lot. That's a lot of prayer. But I also feel like I have a little bit more peace, a little bit more clarity. I seem to be feeling like I'm having more revelations as time goes on. And I can't act like, I also have a romantic life, or lack thereof. And I'll admit that sometimes that hurts as well, because I know how much I pour into this world. I know how much I give. And as much as I pour into my kids, it'd be really nice to have someone to pour into me sometimes. And that's also a hard balance to strike as a single parent, is that you have needs too as a person, as an adult. And I'm trying to balance that out with what I need to do for my kids, what I need to do for my job. And sometimes it's a lot. It's just really overwhelming.